Hi. So here's the second part of the introduction and the run through of the Intercom setup. So we're going through all the different campaigns which is set up as auto messages. So the first here was kind of leads campaign. Second one, these are expert campaigns, and then these are company campaigns that are the idea is to turn leads into users. And then we've got the onboarding campaign, and if you look at the onboarding campaign, it's essentially new users and introducing them to specific features of Growth Bond. So first there's a welcome mail, then different mails here going through different aspects. So as an example, this email is mostly about posting a request on our expert portal to encourage the user to use that specific feature. So if we go down, then we have different re-engagement campaigns. So as an example, this 2.3 re-engage users who only connected their Facebook profile. So that's a campaign which is targeting the segment 3 follow-up segments only connected Facebook. So these are 1,000 users who only came to the process of connecting Facebook, and then they didn't connect the Facebook page and they dropped out. And they get essentially 4 emails that are quite similar. So essentially the message is, hey, we noticed that you registered your Facebook profile, but you never really came any further. So please complete the application. And as you can see, we sent almost 900. Only 60% of them opened, 6% clicked, and 1 reply. But then if we go back to the kind of the overall campaign, we can see that it's pretty consistent with a 6% click rate. So at least it is actually re-engaging users and enabling them to click. So then go back to campaigns. We have this one. So this is users that connect the Facebook and then connect the Facebook page, but then dropped out. So as you can see, it's almost 900 of 939 that are in that campaign. And the message is essentially the same. Hey, we can see that you connect to your Facebook page, but we're still missing your payment details, and you need to save an expert, and you need to create an ROI calculation. And again, there's 4 reminder emails. They're being sent 1 day apart, and the open rate is between 15 to 20 with a 6% click rate. So that's essentially the. Then there's also success story campaign. So you can see we're sending out 5 success stories. Then there's a rejected campaign. So if a company is being rejected, we say, hey, you're out. You cannot get funding, but you can learn essentially to do it yourself. So you can take a Google course. So then, every day, we'll get a new kind of pitch, and the click-through rate is pretty high in the beginning, but then unfortunately drops. Okay, so that was the rejection. Then there's upselling campaigns. So if they got funded, then we're offering them to get a new loan. So as you can see here. This is if they actually done the first repayment. So then we're essentially pitching them a chatbot. So that means we can now target users that have done the first repayment and send them make an incentive for them to pay. Then we have different feedback campaigns, asking them to come feedback. Campaign if we haven't seen them for 20 days and they haven't done less than 2, 3, 4 web sessions. We can request for testimonials once they start repaying. That must mean that they're kind of positive towards Growth Bond, etc., etc. So these are all the different campaigns. So that's mostly like targeting emails or targeting online messages. Then we also got visitor auto messages. So this is more new users coming in, mostly for leads. So let's take this one. So this is essentially just asking the user when they come to a website if there's anything they can help with. So you can see that delivers this message 5 seconds after you hit the growthbond.co. So if we create a new window and we go in, we can see that this message comes. So then there's also a bot, and I'll get back to what that bot actually is. But after 5 seconds, it should be able to come in and ask for help. Just go back here and see what else. Then there is this one. So this is if you get to applying, then we ask them again if we can help, and then we send them this message. And this is get growth bond. So that was the one we were in. But there's one for the expert portal, and there's like the post request assistant. So you can see here if they get on this URL, which is essentially the URL for posting requests, this message comes up with a user video. So Sabina, you need to replace that video, because then that's from the banned video account. Okay, so that's kind of auto messages that can be sent to users if they're, as an example, they're looking at the about page for more than 10 seconds. Then we say, hey, we can see that you're really interested to learn more about the background of GrowthBond, and then we can send a custom message based on where they are, what page, etc., and how many time they spend. So that's the auto messages. Then there's the manual messages, which can be used to send in like messages individually to one or to a specific user segment. So nothing automated, but like if we have an instant news that we want to send out, we can use and just do that here. New manual, define the audience and the content, and then we send it out. Finally, there's the report. In here you can see how many emails being sent out. So you can see here, like on this day, the 6th, it would actually, that's a lot of messages, right? It's almost 9,000 messages going out. So here it's almost 6,000 messages. So it's on scale, it's actually a lot of customized messages, emails, and campaign messages we're sending out. And here we can check if they might getting too many, 31 messages might be a bit too much. And here are the performance of the in-app messages and the email. So you can see here that in the upselling campaign it has 40% open rate, and what the click rate is and the unsubscribe. So I think it's it goes from approximately 10 to 40. So the goal, of course, is to get as high as an open rate and as high as a click rate. So that's the report. Then we have all the messages coming in, and you have an inbox, and then essentially everyone has an inbox, and there's all. So right now it's mainly Haman who's running the show here, and here is all the inbox. So you can see every 2-3 hours that there's a new message. So this is the inbox, this is the message, and this is the information that we have on there. Okay, so then there's the article part. So these are all the how-to being published on our help center. So every time we have an article, we can integrate that into a message, etc. So So that's essentially, and here we can see the performance of it, how many viewed and how many have like started conversation around it. So that's and there's a pretty good insight section where you can see the reaction and the stats on all these different elements. Okay, then we go to Messenger. That's pretty basic. Then we have the operator. So the operator is it's essentially custom bots. So that's essentially a bot which can be used to help the users. So this one, this is essentially the bot that you're seeing on the first page. So right now we're using the picture of Sabina, but it's essentially, hi there, welcome to we provide fund advertising. So I like to apply for funding, and then here is how I can learn how to apply, and I like to apply now. So it's essentially just like a funnel that you can use. Then I can just follow that. And of course I can close it down and I can get back to Hamam, who's asking me a question. That bot is was creating under this custom bot. So you can see it's sent 2,780 thumb, engaged 11, and 2 completed it. If you go in and edit it, you can essentially see how it is structured. So it's essentially structured with a welcome message, and then 3 different buttons, and then for each button there's a new message. So if we press B, apply for funding, then this one comes, and that's essentially how the structure is. And then you can choose audience and set trigger time, and you can. So the audience is exactly where you want it. So you just we like to target on this URL. So all users that gets to use the URL, they get this bot. But we can put it in everywhere where we might experiencing problem converting users. So those are the bot. And let's see, answer bot. Okay, yeah, that should be possible. So here, this is how, so we can go in and see all the answer, questions that are coming in, and then we can create automatic answers, so that instead of Hamam asking to reply all the time, then we just send this automated. So yeah, this should work for Sabina as well. Just click there. Otherwise, let me know if you can do that. And then of course there's a robot. So final feature is the product tour. So this is essentially a product tour of a user that's got funded and is coming back to the just preview it here how it's made. So yeah, so it's for the dashboard. So now I'm unfortunately not logged in, but otherwise you can go in and preview it here. But you need to be logged in with an approved account in order to see it. Then you would see this product tour where you can see different you spot to different aspects of the dashboard, and then it explains. Say welcome. Well, here's your financial dashboard. Here you can change your account setting. And here is to get started. And then you can duplicate it and unpublish it, etc. And if you edit tour, you can see how it's actually being created here. So it's very simple, and it's a good way to create a small guide to different pages where the user might be confused on what exactly he needs to do here, or okay, where do I buy, etc. So that's the product tour. Okay, so that was it. I hope this gives you kind of an overview, and I hope you watch it, and then you go in and kind of figure out what is what, and then you can start working on it.